Good evening, sir, and welcome everyone. Welcome to the Uplift Podcast series. And today we have with us Rizwan, sir, who is an advocate, founder of Rizwan Law Associates, a dynamic law firm in Delhi, with over a decade of practice across in criminal, civil, and constitutional service corporate matters, even arbitration matters for that fact. Sir has represented a diverse range of clients from individuals to multinational corporations, and it has been continued to be a trusted name in litigation as well as advisory. He currently serves as a panel for various different organizations, naming GAIL, IGL, EPFO, Punjab Waqf Board, and various other organizations as well. He has also been on the panel of Government of NCT of Delhi, and his journey reflects both the resilience and procedures in advocacy. I've been also connected with Sir in lot in different forms in different ways. So I closely know Sir, and it is really a pleasure that we are hosting it today. And thank you so much for accepting my invitation.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. So to begin with, I'm really excited to know with your early journey, with your life, that how you landed up here. Doing a little bit of research, I got to know that you studied law at Aligarh Muslim University, and shortly after you stepped into the litigation as well. So I want to ask you first thing, sir, how and what attracted you to come towards law? And how did you decided that you want to build your career in courts rather than going in the corporate practices, which is most famous these days?
Honestly speaking, I was never become I was never supposed to be a lawyer. I wanted to become a doctor. I
Okay,
was a science student,
okay.
and I've given examination also for MBBS in 2005.
Oh, great.
Then, I could not succeed. One of my very good friend has told me that if you want to retain the hostel for next 5 years, I think better you should take admission in law. So
Okay,
that is how I got admission in AMU in 2007 for
okay,
5 years, and I've completed my graduation in 2012.
okay. Oh, great.
And my journey in the university, is quite interesting. When I entered in the profession, I mean in the field of law, I was being taught by one of the finest professor in the in the country. They have shaped me a lot. And when I talk about the practical exposure in the university, I would not say that I had much at that time. But like students which come to me nowadays, they are very well prepared, and when they come, they already had 10 internship or 9 internship in their
Yes,
pocket.
true.
But I could not get a chance while I was studying in AMU. During these 5 years, I only had one internship, that too in final year.
Okay. Okay, glad to know that, sir. And this is how you landed up with law. And thankfully, you landed up with law because looking at today's career and scale and the growth and the kind of dealings which you're having, which definitely I'm going to discuss, glad you landed up in law. So, sir, I just wanted to ask you that how was your experience in litigation? Like you started with the litigation. So, if someone wants to step into the litigation, so I want you to tell me that how was litigation then and how it is different now, and what is your experience in litigation altogether?
So it is completely different. I started my career in 2012 as a junior lawyer. I went to a lot of my seniors who were already practicing here, and I went to them to get some good office where I can start my career. But I could not get any help, unfortunately. They promised me a lot, but they could not help me. And through one of my acquaintance, I found a senior chamber in 2012. I secured a job, but only for
Great.
one day. And I joined my senior office, and he told me that I could not pay, I will not pay you salary because there is nothing called salary exist in litigation back then. He said, I'll pay you only stipend, that too, I think somewhere around 4,000 or 5,000 per month, which was nothing. But I quit the job the very next day, And through one of my acquaintance, I found another senior where, I worked for about 5.5 years till 2017, I think. Yeah, 2017. And the litigation nowadays and litigation back then is totally different.
Different.
I mean, in our days, there was no concept of e-filing. There was no concept of digital, cases. Now you can, in today's time, you can argue cases, sitting anywhere in the world. But in our days, there was only physical hearing. So a lot of things have changed now since then.
Okay. So, but then looking at the consideration and the way the transitions which you have mentioned, to have your own law firm into existence, starting your journey in 2012 and then doing all the different kind of things, and 2018 you have founded your own Rizwan Law Associates. So I
Yes.
think it's a big thing, sir. It's a big thing. So what was the basic core vision behind it, and like how did you evolve it with around so many days? Because setting up your own firm, starting it, taking it at that point of time, like you mentioned that it was little difficult. So how do you see it? Like what was the challenges and what was the main goal behind it?
See, let me just tell you honestly, after spending 5 to 6 years, that too in hardcore litigation practice under my senior, whom I'm still very thankful. I had a, rough idea about the profession. And at that point, when I started, getting decent job offers with more pay, I was offered a lot of jobs when I, decided to quit my senior's office. And most of the jobs, came from law firms. They were paying me good amounts, but then I decided that I think it will not be very wise to join another firm or corporate firm. And rather joining, some firms, I should start my independent practice. And that is why, I decided to set up my own practice in 2018. January, I started, I think somewhere in the first week of January, I started. And the vision was very clear. The vision at first was to set up my independent litigation practice, but I wanted to restructure a firm culture also with, a firm which, deals with all kind of laws like commercial matters and service matters, criminal also. And over the few years, it has evolved as a law firm providing expertise in corporate compliance as well as litigation. So, like, I do a lot of corporate things for a lot of big companies. Uh, yes.
Okay, great. And sir, I will definitely, I'm totally into it when you're saying restructuring the culture. I'll tell you the reason why. I have sent across so many students to, do the internship. I have heard how it is. So definitely touching into different subject matters. And one thing which even the students have mentioned, which I want to say from this platform, is when you're doing an internship, it is most important. It's not necessary how many days you're getting, and the certificate doesn't matter at the end of the day. The
That's true.
most
That's true.
important is what you're learning. So at least, sir, you are definitely, your firm is at par that the students are trying to learn a lot of various, different aspects, different knowledge. So yes, thank you so much for setting up that firm as well, sir. It is really helping the students as well as others.
It's
So
actually being as a first generation lawyer, it is actually my duty to shape first generation lawyers and the second generation as well, who are, eager to learn nuances of the law.
definitely, definitely, sir. So you also have robust experiences across Delhi High Court, Supreme Court of India, tribunals, commissions, and you are representing every sector. For that, you also need to have that kind of agility and you need to have that kind of depth and knowledge. So what is your strategy behind it? And why I can say this? Because I've been chasing you for such a long time, and today I've got your dates. So yes, so that is, that is one of the question which it's my right to ask you, that what is the your strategy and how do you manage so many different areas and aspects?
See, the experience in, appearing in different forums, will guide you in a lot of, positive ways. You'll have to learn uh, by observing other seniors arguing before the forums. Like, I regularly appear before the High Court and Supreme Court and other tribunals also. There is no straight jacket formula to argue, cases before the high courts. If you have a one particular case, like you have a service matter, you will have to frame your mind in accordance with the service law. if you have a matter before the High Court, say, let's say it's a writ petition involving some contractual disputes, right? So you'll have to frame your mind accordingly. So let me just tell you honestly, there's no specific strategy. It is very, very essential to understand the requirement of each forum. Some judges, they want to listen some particular argument, you'll have to deal with it. You must be very well prepared with the nuance of the practice area of the particular forum or the court, whatever. And you leave everything at the disposal of the forum or a court. Let them decide. You just do your work with honesty and sincerity.
Okay, great. So that means you're saying that there's no strict formula, like you mentioned, that there's no state jacket formula. It's just how you're representing, in accordance to the situation. So, sir,
Yeah.
is the same experience and the same formula applies when you are dealing with the corporate and the government panels as well? Like you are into several major institutions, you represent
Yes.
GAIL, you represent IGL, you represent EPFO, you also represent Punjab Waqf Board. There's a long list. So what are their demands? Like how do you manage the corporate government panels, the private client litigation? So how do you do that?
See, it's a talent one must have if you're practicing in, different laws. It is important to, maintain the balance between the clients. You have at one end, you have corporate sectors. On the other end, you have private clients, like a lot of employees. So there's no particular thing which you will have to follow when you are dealing with such kind of, diversified clients. The key is to prioritize all your work equally and distribute, focus based on the demand of the dispute or the matter involved. Again, I mean, it's how you learn to strike a balance. There's no shortcut in this, right? Whatever is the demand of the matter, you will have to prepare yourself accordingly.
Accordingly. Okay, okay. So, sir, like you have numerous cases with respect to the criminal jurisprudence as well, and you have a lot of things which you are doing in the field of arbitration, which definitely I'm going to touch. That's a matter of my interest as well. But then to begin with criminal jurisprudence, sir, if suppose you have to give an idea, or suppose if you want to, say a particular student, or if you want to groom anyone, so how do you say that? What will be your basic structure arguments, or how do you approach a matter which is criminal in nature? Because I can see that you have notable things in your criminal jurisprudence as well.
Yeah, criminal matters, in fact, require thorough study analysis to connect the dots of the case.
Yes,
It's very
exactly.
important. You'll have to be very well prepared. Someone's life is at stake. You cannot take the
True.
matter lightly. A
Mhm.
well research and a well researched brief is must to structure your case and your argument in the court. And I always feel a focal point that surround all my argument in support of it. It is, according to me, I mean, it is not necessary, to argue matters for hours. It is very important to, make points before the court with much, clarity
Clarity.
to, enable the court to give you relief, what you desire in the court. So criminal matter require a lot of hard work. And these are the cases which you cannot take lightly. It is not a contractual dispute. It is not a, commercial dispute where one party can lose and other party can win, and the losing party can file an appeal before the higher court. It is not like that. Somebody is
Mm.
behind the bar. You'll have to do your best in the very first forum before whom you are appearing. Like suppose in bail matters, the first court is the district court. You will have to do your best, irrespective of the thing, whether you are arguing before a district court or the high court or before the Supreme Court. So criminal matter require a lot of dedication and hard work, according
Dedications.
to me.
Yes, because criminal matters fantasize the students a lot, but at the same point of time, they are actually, not looking behind what kind of dedications is required. Because, like you mentioned, that you are actually arguing for someone's life, that becomes very important. And because you
Someone's
started,
life is at stake.
is
Someone's
at stake.
liberty is at stake.
Exactly. And because you said that you started with, you wanted to become a doctor, and now you're a lawyer. So at both point of time, you're trying to save someone's life. So somewhere down the
Yes,
line, you are
absolutely.
connected, sir, as well.
Absolutely.
So you're being
Absolutely.
connected.
And let me
So
just tell you one more thing. Let me just
yes,
tell
sir.
you one more thing. Being as a criminal lawyer, it is your duty to assist the court, not to confuse the court.
Confuse the code.
If the court is very clear and you have placed your argument in a very, crystallized manner, you will surely get a relief.
So it's just the way how you're presenting it matters
Yes.
a lot when it comes to criminal jurisprudence. Sir,
Yes.
now I'll move ahead to one of my favorite topic. And you know how closely I'm connected to arbitration. My doctorate lies in that. And you are one person who is into litigation and also supporting things beyond litigation. So
Yes.
how do you balance it, sir? So you have arbitration practices now and it has gone exponentially well. I could see, and we'll be discussing more of the cases about it. So, can you draw some light with respect to arbitration and how it is a better recourse these days?
When I started my career as a junior lawyer, for good 6 years, I did not deal with any arbitration matter. And I think somewhere in 2018, when I, got my first arbitration matter, I was like, how will I do it? I did not even deal with one single arbitration for 6 years. But client has shown, tremendous faith in me. The client said, sir, you're already dealing with a lot of high court matters and Supreme Court matters, and I'm sure that you will do justice with this also. You just have to read some laws and that's it. So I got my first arbitration case, I think somewhere in 2018 when I started my independent practice.
Okay.
See, as far as this particular area of arbitration is concerned, this arbitration is and ADR is now well established. There's, I mean, no doubt about it. You have commercial courts, you have benches and high court, which are specifically dealing arbitration cases. And now there are a number of judgments also by the Supreme Court and the High Court, which define how the things will proceed, how the arbitration will proceed, and in what manner the arbitration and ADR will proceed. An idea was not to burden the courts. I'm telling you the reason behind this whole ADR things. The idea was not to burden the courts because arbitration is more, effective and speedy. If you want to get your case adjudicated in a fast track manner, I think this is the best
Best.
platform or mechanism where you can, approach the court and get the arbitrator appointed and adjudicate your matter. And it has been at a disposal for all commercial courts. And, let's say, for example, commercial dispute and high stake construction or tender matters for private companies and state. There are, I can give you a list where uh, the parties nowadays, in fact, the individual also, prefer arbitration over courts.
Arbitration.
They know they'll get a speedy justice. Let's say in the arbitration, there's a time, period given in the act which say that you'll have to complete the proceeding within 12 months. So it is next to impossible to get your case adjudicated in 12 months in court.
In court.
Let's say any regular suit will take at least 5 to 6 years in court. But in the arbitration, there's a time prescribed. You will have to conclude the hearing in 1 year, subject to 6 month extension. So in any case, you will get the your matter adjudicated within 18 months from the date of filing. That's an effective mechanism, and I think one should adopt the ADR more than to approach the court for redressal of their grievances.
True, true. Thank you so much, sir, for advocating it. You have advocated what even I researched. And this is what even I was thinking that, of course, awareness is somewhere down the line lacking at firms, at different forums. But when you're seeking for a speedy mechanism, especially when we are talking in corporate sectors where time is
Yes.
everything and their goodwill is everything. So why not go for alternative dispute resolution mechanism when you have the all the provisions?
See, there are good and bad things exist in every system.
Exactly.
This is also one of them.
Yes. True.
The
Very
arbitration is, not untouched by bad things. It has also now become a full-fledged litigation.
full fledged.
You
Yes.
you file your claim up to Supreme Court, you'll have to fight for your claim.
Hmm.
But
True.
it's still, I think it is still better than a regular court hearings.
Okay. Sir, I want to actually, club few things with you when it comes to the law firm. I want to ask you that, building a law firm, running a law firm, and then taking up so many cases of criminal, civil, service, corporate, arbitration, and then you need to have that kind of legal acumen. You need to be very focused. So how do you balance taking up so many matters together, running a law firm? So what is the key to it?
You will have to show your presence all the time.
Okay,
And when it comes to running a law firm with 10 people in your office, that
true.
is, I think, even more responsibility on your shoulder.
Yes, very true.
You have a meeting at 5 o'clock with some corporate client. Next hour, you have a meeting with an individual client at 6 o'clock. You'll have to deal with everything. You'll have to strike a balance. And this was my, when I started my independent practice, I thought to, launch a firm where the, client get all kind of services. So the vision, behind, launching this law firm was this only. You should have a platform where it's like one stop, for everything.
Exactly. And you're actually proving it, sir, to be very honest. That is the reason we are having varieties of question dealing in. I was following your few cases very thoroughly, and I'll come to that.
Okay.
Recently, you have represented the celebrities, okay, of the Indian national cricket team players, and we all know that Yuvraj Singh was there, Shikhar Dhawan was there in the High Court and for the arbitration matters as well to secure the misuse of the brand value and the personality rights. And you have also given your own write-ups and articles that how it was being presented. I want to ask you, sir, that what do you think? What is your take with respect to these rights of celebrities in the world of social media as well as AI?
See, I think with the advent of AI, it has become more challenging now. Social media now, AI technology, I think has taken over the world.
Good.
And I mean, let me just say that the benefits are ample, but we are still struggling to govern with it. And I'm very glad that the Delhi High Court has taken initiative and actively securing the personality rights of the celebrities. I have fought two cases on behalf of the celebrities, like you have just mentioned, Yuvraj Singh and Shikhar Dhawan. And many celebrities across the country are knocking at the door of the High Court now, especially Delhi High Court. When they can approach the other high courts like Bombay High Court, a lot of petition have been filed before the Bombay High Court also to secure the personality rights. And personality rights are to be understood with the right to privacy, and the celebrities also have the right to privacy and acknowledge, knowledge before use of their identity in the form of photograph or the videos. What happened nowadays, suppose you have an agreement with some company where you have given the right to, promote their one particular brand. And even after the expiry or the termination of the agreement, what the company do, they continue to use or exploit the, personality rights of the
Okay.
one
Hmm.
particular celebrity. That is
Hmm.
how all these cases, landed up in the courts. And, brand like Yuvraj Singh and Shikhar Dhawan was also similar cases. What happened in these matters? But despite the termination of the contract, the company, continued to make use of the images of these two people without their consent and knowledge. So when the client, informed me about the violation, I immediately advised them to file cases before the Delhi High Court to secure their personality rights and celebrity rights. And it is very important to knock the door
Very
when you
important.
find when you find such kind of violation when it comes to your personality rights. These are celebrated people. You
True.
cannot you cannot unauthorizedly use their images or their videos for your own good and promotion.
And when we are saying that we are the one who are making them the celebrities, then definitely we should be the one who should be, taking their consent and without their knowledge, not misusing anything. So, of course, I've been following that, and many congratulations to you on that, sir, because we mentioned we did that. Congratulations, but it was on the virtual basis. I want to do it here as well.
And these
So,
cases are still pending before the
yes.
arbitral tribunal now.
Yes, but it was a great move. Like it was a great move because we've been following it and we've been seeing to this. We have also observed that you have involvement in collaborations like Pickle Pros, where you are, trying to bend the law with the sports initiative as well. So how do you deal with these kind of projects, and how it is helping to enrich your knowledge case, and how you are going it putting it beyond the courtrooms?
See, I do corporate work for one of the sports management company, and this Pickle Idea Pro was there. Pickle Pros was there. It was their idea to launch this Pickle Pros event. And the corporate law is ever evolving, and why Pickle Pros is, is one of the example of, contractual collaboration between private companies and other organization. And, I've been actively advising all these, companies when it comes to, their engagement with such kind of events. And I'm doing it since last, I think, 3 years now.
It's a great and a huge time, and such a nice collaboration where you try to, focus more on the different angles and obviously the interpretation of laws in various forms. Sir, you've been practicing now, I think, over a decade, standing in front of the
Almost,
court.
almost, almost 1.5 decade now.
Yes. So, sir, what is the basic value and principle you still follow, which is consistent with you even then and now?
See, two, three things which I want to tell you. One is obviously hard work. There's no substitute of hard work.
Yes.
But especially if you're a first generation lawyer, you'll have to prove yourself. There's no one who will back you when the failure comes. So obviously hard work. Second thing is calmness. Whatever the situation may be, you'll have to calm. You'll have to show great strength of calmness. Third, it is obviously the commitment. Whatever you are doing, do your best. And I think confidence is one thing, which everybody should, you know, as per the situation adopt. And these are the things like calmness, commitment, and confidence are the principles which have guided me through my practice. And obviously hard work. I used to work till in my juniorship days, I used to work till 12 or maybe 1 o'clock. And I started my day, let's say around 8 o'clock and work till 12 or 1 a.m. in the night. So hard work, obviously. And this profession is very unpredictable. Anything can come in your way anytime. You will have to learn how to stay calm and never lose your temper inside and outside the courtroom. That's a great
True,
art of learning
true,
and,
very true.
navigate the problem through well-informed decisions. These are the things which one should do and one should keep in mind while practicing.
I think, sir, the calmness, the commitment, confidence, all of these things are something which I have seen in you, even when you've been there in different kind of events and everywhere, where I have seen that how you have represented yourself. So, of course, that is something which definitely one should learn. And because now in IT, but initially until now, I'm too much connected with academics. So if I want to ask you from from a young law students or a budding litigation particular person who is coming to you, what would be the basic advice which you want to give those students who are coming to you, or maybe someone who is coming for an internship in your firm? So of course these are the things which they need to follow, but is there anything which you feel that this is something from where you should start, this is the way how you should build things?
See, when you join someone's office, you join that office with open mind and, by welcoming new ideas. You don't have to stick to yourself with one particular field. Your office, may have variety of work. So whatever work your senior is giving to you, you perform with honesty and hard work. There's no substitute for hard work, like I told you.
Yes.
So what normally interns do in the office, they've been, assigned the task of, let's say, some research. And I think research, conducting research in one's office, I think is not going to help in long run. You will have to, being as a senior, you'll have to give them brief to read. See, suppose one matter is listed tomorrow, you'll have to give them file to read the laws involved in the matter. let interns or junior advocates, go through all kind of laws whenever the brief is assigned to them. And, they should also give their senior the brief in hand in one page so that their senior can also, apply uh, legal minds while arguing before the court. So according to me, nowadays, because, it has become a very trending thing that if you are studying in some, some national law schools or some very fine colleges of law, nowadays you'll find a lot of such kind of schools. They do internship, I think,
Every
every
semester.
semester. And in 5 years, they do almost 9 to 10 internship.
True.
And, I can easily gather, and by just reading their resume, that they have done these kind of internship, and they are very sharp minded people. So I my office particularly don't give them research work. We always encourage them to do research on a particular case, not on particular laws.
Okay.
So for example, one case is listed tomorrow, we always give them file to prepare brief for your senior, and we involve them in all kind of matters what juniors normally do in the office.
Okay, great. So that means you're saying that you're trying to put the juniors in the front foot, no matter whatever it is, and this is how
Absolutely,
they
it
are
has
going
to.
to gain confidence with
Correct.
respect. True, very true, sir. And because I started my career in litigation, so I know this is very important. Fortunately, I got one of my senior in that way where, even the 4 to 5 days of my practice, he was like, Shivangi, you're going to do this anticipatory bail. I'm standing there. Let's see how it goes. And like you still give the time to research and everything. It was the first open experience for me. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to start? Okay, what is the first one? So that happened with me, but then at the same point of time, I think this is how is something one should do rather than just sitting back, do these
Absolutely, absolutely.
research. Yeah. And that is why, sir, your firm is growing and everyone, loves it and wants to be the part of it and
It's all
applies
God
so
blessing,
much.
actually.
Yes, 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 sir, definitely. So we were right on time. Thank you so much for, taking out time and answering all these questions. I really wanted to have this interaction and I was really looking forward. Your journey from founding the law firm to arguing the different complex matters in the courts, representing yourselves in tribunals is actually representing the kind of diversified and versatile personality you are having. So thank you so much, sir, for sharing all your litigation, arbitration, client centric approach and all these things which a student should have a takeaway from you. So thank you
Thank you
so
so
much, sir.
much for having me, Shivangi. Thank you so
Yes, sir.
much. It's a
Thank you,
pleasure
sir.
talking to you.
Same here, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.